Okay, after the header, we have the nav bar. So let's throw in a comment for the nav bar. And the first thing we're going to style after the header is our Nav Bar Menu. So we're looking at the unordered list. Telling our unordered list to display flex. Justify content on the main axis to the start. Align items, going to stretch. We're going to get rid of the bullets, list style type of none on our unordered list. Zero out the margin and padding. We're going to change this to position relative for our drop-down list, so we can work a little bit more with positioning there. And background color, of this kind of sea green. Let's take a look at what that looks like. Again, it's the beginning of our nav bar. We got rid of our bullets and they look like they're floating. We have not hidden our nested lists yet, but that's on its way. So the next thing we're going to style are our Nav Bar Items, which are our LIs. Tell them to display block. Use the shorthand flex, grow 0, 0, and the flex basis of auto. Margin 0, padding 0. So let's see what that did to our LIs. Not too much of a change here. Nav bar item. Nav bar item. So the next thing we're styling are our Nav Bar Links. Display block. Text decoration none. I haven't showed you this cursor pointer, but you'll see when you put the cursor over the link, it changes the cursor. Padding 1M. Background color sea green. Text color of white. So that's the current state of our nav bar. We're going to put a hover and a focus on our links. When you hover or focus, background color of gray. So there's the effect. I'm going to set up the Nav Bar Items, which are inside of the menu, which are, so here's the nesting. We're looking at the Nav Bar menu. We're looking for the Nav Bar menu underneath that. We'll look at the HTML here in a second. Then we're looking at the Nav Bar item. So it's the item inside of the second menu. So here's the first menu, here's the second menu, here's the item inside of that. So now we're looking at the LIs that are inside of this nested list. Changing its flex grow, its flex size, and its basis to be 3 M's. Changes the size, the width of these child elements here. Not as wide as they were before, I believe. Kind of the same hierarchy here, Nav Bar Menu. Nav Bar Menu. But now we're looking at the link, Nav Bar Link. Changing the padding from the left to M's. A little bit more padding on them. Let me double check that. I thought, let's see. Oh, I was gonna say that didn't seem like it worked because I have a typo. Nav Bar Menu. There we go. There we go. So now when I inspect, padding left 2 M's, you can see the result of that. And now we're selecting 1, 2, 3, 4 different items using all sorts of different selectors here. So Nav Bar Item Hover. When you hover, you select the child Nav Bar Menu. That's what that one says. Nav Bar Link Hover. Nav Bar Item Focus. Several different selectors that we would need to cover. I'm just going to code these. Again, we've covered the documentation on all these different selectors. Okay, so we selected 4 different items here. Basically, when you hover the item, when you hover the link, selecting the child Nav Bar Menu underneath that, when you focus it, so a couple different hovers, a couple different focuses. We tell it to display flex. Okay, at some point we're gonna have to hide that child menu there. We have not hidden it yet. Let me glance forward at my CSS. Okay, I'm going to stop the video here. Got to look a little bit more at my CSS, and at some point we're going to hide that child nav so that it pops out when you hover. Stop the recording here.